Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Meta-Two NXT AfterShow here immediately after WWE's NXT. I am one of your hosts, Katrina from NJPW Trust, and I am here with my twin, Shay. How are you today?
We rolling.
Alrighty. Well, I did miss a chunk of it, so I'm gonna let you take the floor on this one. Hey, George. How are you? Hope all is well.
Hey. So it started with Fallon versus Thea for the North American qualifier for the match that's going to take place in Las Vegas. Honestly, for majority of this match, it was just Fallon kind of dominating. Thea had some points too. I'm not gonna lie, like she had some points too, but I felt like Fallon definitely had more of the edge in this. I also feel like Riley just has an issue with Ridge, which I get. Like I would just have an issue with Ridge also because I know that he is a black cloud of darkness and despair and bad luck, and nothing good happens around him. This is the truth. I'm not making this up. So when he went to go take the chair, I saw the vision, but I felt like maybe it should have been someone else. You know, right message, wrong messenger type of deal. Like maybe he should just not done it. Maybe if Riley had done it, maybe things would have went differently. But seeing as he is cursed by 7 dwarves, he's just the last person that should be making any acts anywhere around the ring when anyone is around within 5 feet. But he did it. He was trying to be good. I'm actually starting to think that Ridge is actually just playing into this, and he is actually doing all this on purpose. That is my theory. I don't know why I feel this way, but no one could be that unlucky. I just don't think so. Okay. But basically, they get kicked off from ringside because of Ridge. I really don't understand. I was a little confused about how they were mad about them being kicked from ringside and saying how it had something like it cost Thea. I'm like, how did it cost her? Were you guys supposed to help or something? Are you guys like a heel faction now? This is Judgment Day. Judgment you? Because I'm trying to figure out how you guys not being at ringside somehow greatly affected the babyface Thea from winning the match. That was confusing to me. But as I said, I'm happy with the change with Fallon. I think it was very overdue. The messy, let me be in everybody's business, Sami Zayn energy was getting on my last nerves. It was too much. It was getting on my nerve. Jasmine Nix, the way her and Maxine Dupree do the same type of kip up is actually cracking me up. Like, boom, they be laying dead on their feet. I don't know. Some of them is cracking me up. It's just funny. I like it. It's just funny. Yeah. I mean, Thea, you had to know that was coming, girl. You broke that girl's friend's nose. Like, it was going to happen. So, what were your thoughts?
From what you're telling, it sounds like it was a how I feel about Fallon and the fact that she couldn't mind her business, and so I just felt like she could never mind her business, and so I feel like I still iffy on her, but I'm okay with her being a little bit more heelish if that means I don't have to have her in people's business. Unless she was being like the person in business where it's like she was like causing problems, I guess. And as a heel, then I'd probably be more annoyed than I was before. But hey, but I mean, Thea, I don't know. I just off of them, I don't know what they can get from I guess having them in the ring if they're supposed to be faces. That doesn't make sense. Um, and I'm gonna have to agree with you, Ridge. I feel like even with them adding Ridge to this, it's like I'm still not entertained. I don't know why you're there. I don't know what like if you was gonna retire, and not that I want people to lose their jobs. It's not even that. It's just like if you're gonna stay after telling us she was gonna retire, then please be of some use or please be entertaining, one or the other. And it's like you got 0 for 2 right now, so here we are. But I'm not surprised that Fallon won. I feel like that's something, that makes sense in light of what they're seeing like they're trying to do with her. And I get what you mean about like Maxine Dupree. She definitely does do certain things to an extent, but good stuff so far.
Yeah, no, they have similarities. I like it. I found that, you know what, George, I get her. If someone broke my friend's nose, yeah, it's on site all the time, honestly. Like, that's so valid, Jasmine. Like, I honestly agree with you on that. Do I agree with what JCB doing? No, I don't agree with what JCB doing, because JCB doing some foolishness. But I understand standing on business about your friend. I'm never going to hate on that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the next we have, they announced that Ivar was indefinitely out of the match for the triple threat to see who's going to face Obafemi. Listen, this has been happening too frequently in the last month. I'm starting to think they're making this up. Are y'all really injured, or are they just saying that so they can pull you out and make things better? I feel like I'm being lied to now, because it's literally, this is like the 5th time this has happened. They're lying. Drew, are you injured? Are you really injured, Drew? Or are you ducking? Are you ducking, Phil? That's what I think now. Now I think everybody lying. That's how I feel. We have the family backstage, and Tony is feeling himself now that he's finally got a win. And they was trying to talk crazy about Axiom, trying to be funny, talking about who's the A kid with that accent that kill me. Rizzo with that. I'm not even gonna get into it. Axiom was laughing a bit. I know he was laughing because if I really, really, really drop this belt and give you fever, girl, I'll take that Heritage Cup right from you. But he said, I'm gonna let y'all have it. I'm not gonna go crazy. And I respect you, Axiom, for that. I really do. So now they was like, oh, what if we go after you guys in the tag title? Excuse you, what? I let you guys get away with the Heritage Cup. Barely. I barely accepted that. But what you're not gonna do is try to take anything from Axiom nor Nathan. Now you've gone too far. I don't know who made you feel like you could just wild out like this, but you can't. What are your thoughts on this? Because this is actually sickening.
The Tony is finally getting. Had to wait till my guy left. Had to wait. But yeah, no, I love me some Axiom. I'm gonna need them to leave them alone. I feel like it took them long enough to kind of get on the ball in regards to like having them really do something, and now they did. And so to do all that, and yeah, I just, I need Tony to get it together, or like I don't know, just leave my guys alone. I feel like you keep going around my guys.
No, he's not.
I mean, Drew has been on one. I've been laughing though because it's been funny, but he's been on one. But to have this, and then it's like, now they have to deal with like, how I feel about them of those. Well, I guess we would call them those, but Luke and Carl. I'm not fans. I just can't be. I tried, and I'm like, Chad, just no, never Chad. And so like, sadly, we getting that with Action on Nathan, and then now we have this whole thing with No Quarter Cash Crew, and it's like, can we please get like something happening like properly though? I feel like the No Quarter Cash Crew is just like, okay, like, do something though. You guys can say all this stuff, but you're not gonna actually do anything about it, I think. And so, I mean, I guess we'll see how it really finishes playing out, but I'm over it. Like, with regards to just, because I feel like they're not really doing, like, they're saying stuff, but they're not really doing anything about it. They're not doing anything that's catching my attention, rather. And I don't know if it's everybody needs to get better mic skills or whatever, because it's not necessarily that the wrestling's bad. It's just something else that me is missing, and it's just, I don't get it. And just to George's comment, yes, I don't think it's the same. It's like they have no mouthpiece, and so it's like they're struggling. And it's like, well, make me care, make me want to, and they're not doing that. But here we are.
make you care. The last man that said that got jumped by 3 men. Don't say that. But no, I totally agree with you. Like, this is honestly, they've been saying this is the year of the Aquarius, and one Aquarius completely, boom, one outspoken Aquarius lead derailed that. It's over. They got to figure something out. They tore them loose. I'm praying for them, really. Do you think that this leads to some big tag? Because I mean, like, Luca and Stacks technically were screwed out of it in a way. So do you think that they'll come back? And you know, Tony, he don't let anything go. I feel like he'll come back, be like, oh, well, there was some things that went on, so we need to figure out something else to do. Like, we're not going to let this go. And then you got Damon and Miles. I mean, they could be a little tag team there. You can add them in. I love it when they have like a bunch of, like, it's like a big tag match. And when it's not like one-on-one, I don't know, not one-on-one, but 2-on-2, obviously. Let's hope for that. Nathan and Axiom are still champs, which is all that matters. But I love chaos. So if the Good Brothers want to take that title, like, you know, I'm kind of here for the mess. I'm sorry. I cannot. I love mess.
I don't like them. That's what it is. It's just, maybe with somebody else, I'm like, all right. I just don't like them. I never have. Like, in every place they're at, I'm just like, oh. Like, when AJ Styles was mad about them getting let go before, I was like, why? Why are you mad? I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. So that's all I'm saying, you know. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully not, but I get you mean from that standpoint, but I just don't like the Good Brothers. I can't. It's just every time, and it's really, I feel like the Chad one was really just messed. Like, that documentary, I was like, boo, get out of my face. Like, I don't want to see you anymore. So just on the Tuesdays, well, you know.
Evil Intentions. You see this? Gallus has returned. That's from last week. Which I was like, where are they? Like, where are my boys? They're back and they're beating everyone up. I love it. I don't understand why Noam Dar had to catch a stray, but like, whatever, do you, I guess. Well, I just don't understand it. Like, they really attacked everyone. Like, if you want to attack Trick, you want to attack, like, come on now, but don't do Noam, not my boy. Come on now. Now you cross the line. But I do love this energy because I think they are a really great, like, you know, faction. I do like them. I think that they bring a lot of high energy. I think that their last tag reign was a little bit flat. I don't know why, but I'm not going to completely blame it on them, is what I'm going to say. So yeah, we now have, also, can I say, Nathan, when Nathan pulled out the brain buster, you deserve happiness, and I hope someone's cooking you a good dinner tonight. Lexus King is backstage telling Robert Stone that he needs to get with the winning team. I'm trying to figure out what the winning team is, because it ain't you right now, Lexus, and you know I rock with you, but it's not you. So I'm trying to figure out where that winning team is at. I don't know. Robert was like, absolutely not. Even though I feel like they actually would be a cute little duo. And I hope maybe Robert, you know, mull it over, put your personal feelings aside, think about it. I think y'all will really work together. I really do think you guys match energy. And I think that's why you guys are butting heads, because you are so alike. That's all I'm saying. What would you think about that little duo getting together?
I mean, it'll be better than Von Wagner. So, you know, if we can get something that'll be a little bit more exciting than what, sadly, if we get something a little bit more exciting than what was happening with Mr. Stone and you know, Von Wagner, then all right. And I think, you know, I think we need some more anyway from Lexus. Like, I feel like he's been doing what he's been doing, but there feels like there's something missing. I feel like that he's kind of like just all over the place, and so this might be helpful for him. You know, maybe have somebody kind of help steer it to an extent, and maybe he'll get like more consistent story or something. So I don't necessarily hate it. I think that maybe some good could come from it if they team up. But anything would be better than what I got to see for all those months. And, you know, not saying that the guy should have like lost his job or anything. It's not that. It's just I just was not entertained when I was on my screen. I was just like, oh, you know, like every time he was talking, I was just like, am I supposed to feel something? I don't. So that's all I'm saying. So maybe it'd be a good thing, if they have them, um, do something. It might give them some little insight to both Mr. Stone, give something to do, but also to give something for Lex King to kind of maybe have a more solid plan. Because I feel like he's really been doing everything under the sun, but there's no solid direction, if that makes sense. I was fine with it. Io just lost the championship, so she doesn't necessarily need to win Queen of the Ring. Like, I feel like, for me, the Queen of the Ring tournament should be for people who might not have been to the title just yet. So I'm okay. And why I know Lyra just and I get that. It's just, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with Io losing. She was just champion. She had it for a good chunk of time. That she didn't necessarily need to win Queen of the Ring. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I was like, obviously I love Io and I just always want to see her wrestle. So of course I wanted to see her, continue in the tournament because I feel like she definitely, to me, even with being eliminated now, is probably the MVP of the tournament for me because she's put out the best matches. But I'm not upset about it. Like, at the end of the day, I felt like from the beginning that Nia was definitely going to be the one to win this whole thing. And so it really doesn't matter who would have won between because at the end of the day, Nia is winning. I feel 90% sure that Nia is definitely winning. I think she would fit the bill perfectly. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, I'm sad because I won't get to see no more. I mean, yes, I will because I'm acting like she really left the company or something. Like, I will get to see her wrestle again, but I'm just saying she was really putting up numbers in this tournament. Okay. And I really appreciate it. Her and Lyra tore it down. I think this is great for Lyra. I think she needs this. It's a nice little soft launch for her. She just got on the roster, so she needs that, and she get in the crowd to go, woo! I love that. I was like, oh, look at you guys doing a little woo thing. That just warmed my heart. It really did. And in terms of Lexus, he literally has the Grayson Waller effect at this point of just being really annoying, terrorizing everyone in NXT and winning nothing. But it will come back in the later. Because I always say a lot of people who maybe don't get a lot of accolades in NXT end up doing phenomenal on the main roster because maybe that's just where their vibe is, so I'm trying to keep hope alive for my boy. Okay. Let me see what's next. Next we have Wes Lee versus Josh Briggs, the angriest man at the bar, and Joe Coffey. This was a good match. Listen, everyone knows how I feel about triple threats. They are gonna do it for me every time. I love triple threat matches. Like, it's just it always somehow comes out so well. I can't think of really bad triple threat matches. I really cannot because they're always so good. So yeah, no, this was fun. When Wes Lee did the little fly over, like flip, and then it ended up into a DDT from Josh onto freaking Josh, I was like, oh, you get in the field. Wow, okay. And then the high crossbody from Joe, I thought that was great. I always felt like Joe Coffey was so underrated sometimes as a solo competitor in the ring. Like, he is so good. He really is. And then the whole Wes and Joe end up pinning Josh. Josh, you're going to have to back it up after this. Because you was talking mad spicy on Ava's voicemail. Talking about, I don't care, give me a mole. Put everybody in there. I don't care. And then everybody pinned you. That's real bad for you. I'm going to tell you, that's real bad for you. And I hope you ain't beating nobody up in the bar right now about it. Because they didn't do nothing to you for you to be acting like that, Mr. Sir. That is really crazy. That is crazy to ask for everybody and everybody pin you. Like, that is really something. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. And Ava, you should keep that voicemail for the rest of your life. Never delete it. Never delete it. And play it for him. But Josh, I do like Josh. Like, he is growing on me. I think I like this energy from him. But I'm still like, you're doing a lot and you're mad delusional. Because, like, this is the 5th time they had to tell you to stop going after this title. And you keep coming back from the bar, ready to argue about it again. So you need 3 people to pin you next week? And then we keep going. We'll just keep going at this point because it's not getting through to you. It really is not. No, but I really enjoyed this match, though. And I'm excited. Again, another triple threat Like, I'm being fed. Like, they know. HBK knows. He just knows. He knows I love triple threats. He said, "Let me do right by you, girl. I got you." He really is. And on top of him doing right by me, what is it? What is it? Get it sexy. Get it sexy. Get it sexy. I'm sorry. I was so excited when they said, "Listen, I love me some sexy red." Like, she's funny. Like, she cracks me up because she's just her authentic self, and I love authenticity. I know some people feel how they feel about her. I know it's a lot, but I like it. I can't help it. I like it. So I'm very excited about this, and you can tell she is a big fan. So it's exciting for me to see someone who you can tell is a really big fan get that opportunity. So I think it's gonna be very funny. And they need to have Lola come out and twerk when she's singing that song too as well, because she was putting up numbers tonight. But I'm gonna talk about that later. What were your thoughts on this whole match?
To your point about Joss saying that, give them all, and I'm like, my guy, this was one of those fuck around and find out, and he found out. You can't. This is act and you shall receive. This is what was happening with Josh, and so he asked for all of them, and he got all the pins. That's what happened. Maybe next time don't do that. I don't know. Just be very specific what you want something. But otherwise, no. You have to have three people who have been, like I said, I miss Wesley, and so it's cool. Hey, and it's good to see him back. It's really good to see him back, and so to kind of have him already in a three, like the triple threat matches, like back in it. He just got thrown back into the fray, and he's already in the matches. And so I'm good. I'm even okay with them both pinning him, because it kind of gives the like who's the real winner here if they both pin. So there's a couple of like things you can go off of that, on top of the fact that Josh had a lot to say and then he got pinned doubled. And so you can play around with that for a bit. And so I was good with it, but I do think it was a solid match. From the three of them. And, again, just a huge fan of Wesley, and why I don't particularly like Gallus, because I don't. I am perfectly, like, Joe, he's cool. I always felt he was, like, I feel like if you just kind of move him away a little bit, uh, it'll be fine. I'm not that against him if he's away from them a bit. I do think he's just, I can't. I tried with Gallus. I can't. I can't. I know what it is, but it's something. But otherwise, good match. Definitely good match, and I do think he's probably going to be back in the fray again. Josh will be back in it, because he hasn't learned the lesson of loss yet. It's like, I'm gonna lose. Let me act again. Like, my guy, this is not how this works. That's what Sean needs to do next. He needs to tell him about himself. Like, I know Ava's supposed to be general manager, but Sean, you are in charge. Tell him no. Be like, negative. Okay, remove him from the equation. But otherwise, good match. It was good stuff.
No, it really was. If Josh gets added back in, like, what is he going to do? Say, it's unethical for you to agree that two people could pin me. Like, he's going to say something really ridiculous that's going to get me mad. And then I'm going to file a class action lawsuit against whatever is his favorite bar, so it can be closed down. And that's how I feel. So next, Idris said that he is cooked because he has really bad luck. He doesn't have Ridge Holland bad luck, but it's significant enough that he feels like he is cooked because he broke that mirror, because he got a little overzealous. Brinley Reese is, Thea's cousin. She's all, hyper and happy and saying, just have mind over matter. Like, girl, ain't no mind over matter. What you mean? He's owing what? And I hate that for him. I really do. But yeah, we move on to Jada Parker, Miss Parker, versus Brinley Reese. I had no doubts on who was winning this. I hate to be that person, but I had no doubts. I knew that Jada was winning 100%. She has been on a roll, and she just, I love her. I just love her. She has, star quality. The minute she walks into the room, you're intrigued by her. I'm intrigued by her always. So just seeing her in this match, and she really honestly was in control for a good portion. Brinley did have a moment where she started to kind of jump out of the gate and really start, having some momentum. But of course, Idris Briggs came out. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. he came out and it just didn't go right for her. My sister, everything just started going wrong. You would have thought she broke a glass the way things just started going completely left for her. I felt really bad. Jada took advantage, and then what is the name of that finisher when she just be taking her gluteus maximus and placing it on her opponent's face? What is, I really haven't caught what the name of that finisher is. George, I know if anybody know what George do. I just know George knows it. I just know you do. You let me know. What were your thoughts on this match and how things ended because of bad luck Idris?
Bad luck, Idris. No. I feel like it's unfortunate for Brinley because she's been losing all of her NXT matches, but like I do think that because she did well in it, that this is one of the reasons why she's being used. But I do think they obviously see something in Jada, and that's why she keeps winning. Um, but I was okay with it. As far as like the Idris bad luck, he would have to be like, you know how they say, you throw some salt over your shoulder to avoid like bad luck. She might need to do that. She might need to incorporate some techniques. So next time he's not rubbing that off, on her matches. Because I would be highly upset if I'm thinking I'm winning and then I'm like, oh, who's the common denominator? And it's you. And then I'm gonna have to reevaluate my friendship. I'm gonna be like, oh, well, you the reason these shenanigans are happening. So otherwise, I thought it was a good decent match. But I do think that obviously they see something in Jada, and that is why she's been winning. I don't know the name of it. I do think it's like a running hip attack though, like that motion that she does. I don't know if she has a name for it though. To be fair, but yeah. Otherwise, it was good stuff. But I think Idris, I don't know. He might need to meditate or like get some sage and cleanse the area, cleanse the space. And then maybe he'll stop bringing the negativity and negative energy into the matches. That's all I'm saying.
And it's a lot of negativity. So now, yeah, and you know what, George, I will say, like, it's not that I'm gonna say that like Jada doesn't have, like, she isn't still like in that learning stage in ring, but I mean, there's gonna be plenty of women in the ring. I'm sure they can cover any mistakes, any greenness, in the match. If she does, I mean, when she is in it, like, I'm sure they'll cover it. Like, I think it'll be fine. I really do. I think she's improving every day. I really do. So let me see here. The next thing we had was, so I was wondering who was that person snoring for the past few weeks, and clearly it was Wendy Chu, correct? Like, it is, right? That's clearly her, right?
I'm thinking that.
I was wondering where she was at. Like, so we're gonna see how her being thrown back into the mix. I feel like she's been gone for so long, and NXT has had such a metamorphosis in the last like few months. I'm like, how is she gonna, fit back into it? Like, it's so many different big dogs, different alpha dogs. Like, like people who was there when she was there is not there. So I'm just interested to see how she fits back in. How do you feel about her comeback? Like,
I'm cool with it. I mean, they might have to adjust her gimmick a bit, though. I do think that when you have like Roxanne, who want more serious, and um, you have people like Lyra, who was like hanging in there with Becky. Like, you have things like that, and she was gone for all of that. And yes, I think it was to an injury, and so glad she's well, that she's back. Um, but I do think she might need to. I don't know how much longer the sleep gimmick can work now. And I was okay with it. To be fair, I had no problem with the gimmick. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a little different, but I don't know how well it worked when you have this crop of women who are trying to make try to present a certain way, and then you have her, doing the sleeping, which is why they probably had the snoring thing happening. They kind of let us know she was coming back. So she might need to do some kind of tweaking somewhere in some capacity, even if it's just for a little bit, just to see if she can like really. And if I like Wendy, I think she's cool, but I do think they might need to just give her a new gimmick a bit or something to spice it up, but also make her seem like a serious threat. Like make her seem like she's a serious person in the division. Otherwise, it's just like you're just here. You don't want to be too many like of the jokey characters. But but yeah, and that's just to that comment because I thought I read earlier that Julia got injured, and so hopefully she's good to go soon. I did read that on Twitter. I think that she might have gotten injured, and so she was going to be missing some stuff, and so I don't know how long that is, but yeah.
I hate that for my girl. Um, we had a little package from Roxanne Perez saying she don't care what y'all be talking about, and you wasting your breath because she's still on top, she's still getting money, and you still broke, and you still not on her time. That's essentially what she said. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but that's essentially what she said. And she's right. So y'all keep talking about her. You always got a problem with her. She's face, she's heel. You got a problem all the time, but she's still getting money. She's still putting out bangers. So I don't know what y'all talking about, but it's not really saying a lot. So what were your thoughts on that, though?
I like your summary of that. I like that. That's like the Cliff Notes version of that. That's good. No, I was listen. I'm fine with it. I'm kind of fine with her. She's basically saying that's like beneath her, and I respect it. I respect. Sometimes you gotta be saying this is what it is, and I like that. Again, this is the space she's in. I do think, and to be fair, I had no problem with her, being like happy. But how is you already like? How is it time? Like she didn't do. It wasn't that much time. Like, all right, George, kind of rush greatness. Um, but yeah, no, I was fine with what she said. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good. I just feel like if you want to waste money that way, it's crazy. Because I'm gonna use it for dishcloths, mopping purposes. I'm gonna use it to burn a. I'm gonna randomly go to the woods, and I don't go to the woods, but I'm gonna go to the woods and use those shirts to burn a fire and keep warm. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have that flames warm up my heat. Um, but no, I was perfectly fine with her promo. I thought it was good, and I thought it was just very in line of where she's at right now. And that's good. You're a champion. You are top lady here at NXT. Let them come to you, sis. She right. I'm like, you right. You right, Roxanne. Let them know what it is.
And is. So the next match, like they was playing in my face with this, and I'll be honest with you, but the next match was Lexis King versus, well, they had Robert Stone come out like he was gonna be announcing. Like I thought, I'm just saying, like the way he made it seem. So he announced Dante Chen. He was going against Dante Chen. He came back, hair long, inches. I was like, okay, I see the inches. I appreciate it, but let's not. Like, come on now, stop it, okay? And then letting him beat Lexis. Come on now. We used to sit, and I'm not even going to say. And listen, it's not even like that. But we used to sit here and say, can they give Dante a break because he was the go-to man. You would see him over there, never get an entrance, just standing over there and get ready to get beat on by whoever was coming in, and you're just gonna have him come in and just beat Lexis King? Oh, that's disrespectful. I felt disrespected. I didn't move. The NXT crowd gasses anything up. The ice cream man could have came through the entrance and they would have gassed it up. I can't take the NXT crowd seriously because they will gas anybody up. I'm sorry. Like, and listen, Dante Chen is a very good in-ring performer, but I'm saying he has no build-up to be coming back and just beating Lexis King like that. That is crazy to me. It really is. Why would they soft launch, well, actually hard relaunch him off the back of Lexis King? That's disrespectful. I didn't like it. I thought the match, I didn't like, I didn't hate the match, so I will say that I did not hate the match, but this is sick. This is the biggest injustice I've seen since yesterday. Actually, it's not bigger than what happened yesterday. And Braun Strowman, just know, we're not cool. I unfollowed you on Instagram because I was very upset with what you did. How dare you get involved in anything that has to do with Finn Balor? That is so nasty. But again, I just don't agree with Lexis losing. That I just like so what is he just gonna be? I'm saying it's the Grayson Waller effect. Like, is he just gonna be losing all the time and never win anything and just be around to annoy people? No, I don't want this. I don't want this. What were your thoughts on this? Because I honestly, like, I'm stressed out. Like, I don't even drink, and I literally am about to drink myself under the table.
Quickly, I just realized what you said, Roderick. My bad. I actually do like Roxanne. I thought you just meant like I thought you was meaning like just randomly people I didn't like. You was gonna buy the merch, and I was like, oh, I will burn it. But no, I like Roxanne. Roxanne's been my girl since ROH. But as for this, yeah, we definitely been saying that Dante deserved better. So to have him come out, and the thing is, it wasn't even like he won. Like in a good way either. He got beat up for most of it. And so it's like, what was the purpose of having him get beat up and he was gonna win? Like let him get some good hits in or something. Like why you gotta making Dante look weak? Okay, it looks like he only lost because of there was a distraction. And maybe that was the case, but I feel like there's ways to not make him look weak. You know what I mean? And I feel like Dante has been looking weak every time. It's either he's losing and now it's this, where it's like you have him lose had him have him beat Lexus for what to show Lexus that maybe he need to get with Robert Stone because he lost all this time. Robert Stone coming along now he winning. Is that what you're trying to imply with this? Like, oh, you see him, he made somebody who was losing badly win a match. That maybe you'll join him. Like if that's the story they're going with this, and I don't get that personally. I just feel like Dante. I like Dante. I think he's cool, but I do think they need to do better by him. And as far as Lexus, if you're gonna put him with Robert Stone, it has to be done well. Or give him an actual story where it's not just he's like doing whatever. And I feel like he's like floating, like that floater you have at a job, or like when they say you like doing the stand in for like a play or something. It's like he's just doing whatever. He's everywhere. And it shouldn't be that way if they make such a big deal about him coming. Like, can we do it right by him? That's all I'm saying.
Right. Like I want to try to do better by him, but not off the back of one of my other faves. Like y'all was not reading the room correctly, is what I'm gonna say. So the next we have Trick Willy Wonka. He came out. He was very upset, obviously, because he's been being accused of attacking people. And I think it's crazy because he's the number one person getting attacked. So why would he do it to somebody else? I mean, then again, people are crazy, especially in WWE. May 19th just passed. We already know, everyone knows what that means. I was scared the whole day. So yeah, Trick would not do that. But Oro and Jakara, they were so convinced that he did. Jakara is not playing. She is that friend that is like, no, girl, he is not good for you. I am not accepting it. Don't bring him to none of the Friendsgiving. Don't bring him to any gatherings at my house. That's the friend she is. She's not backing down. I don't know what Trick did to her, but she is not going for it. And Oro literally almost killed me when he said to Lash, have you been shaking his dreads? Oro, what are you getting at when you ask her that? What are you getting at? That is a crazy line to ask somebody. Are you shaking his dreads? You're interesting. But Lash was making sense. She was like, he wouldn't do this because he went through the same thing. Truth. But you also was just feeling that you want to believe it because you know that's your man. You don't want nobody throwing dirt on his name. And I understand that. This is all ridiculous. Gallus, and I was kind of confused at them. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it was like a confusing thing because I feel like Gallus already admitted to attacking Trick earlier in the show, but then he was like, I didn't attack Noam, but I feel like they said, like, I distinctly remember Gallus saying they did attack Noam. So I was like, why are we arguing about something that Gallus already said they did 2 hours ago in the beginning of the show? That I don't know. But then they attack Trick, and so I'm trying to figure out because it's like, so what? Are you going after the North American title and the main title? Greedy? Like, so that's why I was so confused, George, because I'm like, why are y'all arguing about something that Gallus already admitted to literally at like hour 8? I was so confused. Maybe that was just like a clerical error or something. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to figure out what this means. Like, what? Like, is like Joe doing double duty or something in Las Vegas? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. They really is hard launching Gallus again. You know what? I ain't mad at it. They need it. They worked hard. They put in their dues. They got Rocky ready for WrestleMania. They deserve it. Give them that time. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, your oral mental. I don't know. There's no other way to take that comment, but like kind of like, are you trying to say something in his dreads? Like, are you trying to say it's not clean or something? Because what was the purpose of like, what do you take out of dreads? Like, what do you, when you shake something? I think about you shake like a rug out or something, you get like mad dust or something. Like, is that what she was trying to imply? And so I didn't understand that. I was like, I don't know if you're trying to be extra shady right now. Like, that's the vibes I got from that. But yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have like like you want to say like what happened to Trick, it's like he wouldn't do it, but this is wrestling, and I feel like unfortunately with wrestling you can't trust nobody. You can't trust a spouse, you can't trust a sibling, you can't trust a father, a child. You can't trust anybody. You gotta assume people are doing the worst in wrestling, and so I can understand why there was something. But as you said, we have all been here. You know, you might have taken the words certain things because you like somebody, you care about a person. We all have done this. I have done this. And so I'm like, girl, you can't be you. How are you already this in where you're just sitting here like he would never? Like, girl, you don't know that. You haven't known him a good 6 months yet, storyline wise. You know, you didn't know. We don't know what you don't know what he's doing. But I mean, as far as Joe, maybe he is double doing, which is kind of weird. It's just such a random switcheroo. Like how y'all on him mad hard now. Like what was it like a month ago? I wasn't doing this level of okay. I mean, I guess that's what we doing, and so I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't know why he's going for both, or maybe he is being greedy. Do not compare him. Don't play me like that. Like that's getting me upset. Don't do that. He would never, never. But maybe that's what they're doing. You know, if I can't do every like don't do bloodline stuff because no, like we can't be having you have double votes. I don't take that from everybody. There's only like very few people who have two votes, and it's not him. But if that's what they're doing and I'm making him just work, or maybe they're trying to prove something, maybe he goes up soon. I don't know. But I'm okay with it. I'm not mad at it, but I do think that you know I gotta give them something. They were doing well before. One time I thought they might have gotten somewhere, and then they just went like it went real wrong. It went real left, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, never mind, like quick. And so maybe that's what they're like. Okay, let's give them an opportunity now. They did lose some people, so maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe to see if this is Joe time to shine. But I was good with it. I just think some of the stuff I was like, now y'all, you know better. Like shaking dreads is wild. That's a wild thing to say. He would have got flipped off that alone. I'm like, oh, we playing this? Like, okay. I'll show you shaking his dread, and it'll be me swinging him. Like, those vibes I would be on. So, just saying.
Man, I just saw the visual. That scared me. We now have the main event. We have Natalya and Karmen Petrovic versus Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice. Before the match started, backstage, Shayna was like, no dancing. Like, she's very much on her Chad Gamble time. She said, no dancing. None of it. Even though she was just fine with Rhea putting that booty in her face. But we're not going to talk about that, Shayna. This I didn't hate this match. I thought it was pretty decent. I think Shayna was very dominating, like, because I feel like a lot of times they've been really doing wrong by her. The only time I see them do the most right by her, obviously, was yesterday and when she had that match with Io. But recently, they've been really playing on Shayna's name. I don't like that. Let me see. Should we do it? No, yes, she should. She gotta release it. That the tension from her body. But eventually, it was a fun back and forth match. It ended with them hitting the heart attack on Lola and Karmen getting the pin. I don't know, like, so what happens next with Karmen? Like, is Shayna and Natalya done? Like, is this the swan song? They're going back to the main roster, and now it's Karmen and Lola? Because if that's the case, I definitely see Karmen and Lola fighting again, and I do see Lola getting the better of Karmen without any other people involved. George. But who got the last laugh, though? Lola put Shayna out, and then she said, She gave her one of those. That was one of the most impressive. Like, I wish I could do that type. Like, it's a standing twerk, no movement, no shoulder movement, just straight jiggle. That's impressive. I really, really need to know if anyone knows who would you have to go to specifically to learn that, because I genuinely think that that is such a necessary tool in society to have. So if someone knows someone who knows how to do that and will teach a little booty, please direct them to me. I will greatly appreciate you, and I do tip. So, do you think this is going to lead to another singles match between Carmen and Lola, or do you think it's just completely done? Like, this journey is done.
I mean, I'm okay with it being done. But I feel like we probably are gonna get one more. I do think they did Shayna better on NXT than they did in the main roster. And to be fair, I am not a Shayna Baszler fan. I'm not. I definitely hate it when they when she first got up to the main roster. I was like, and they kept saying, "Oh, she was like this." I was like, I didn't care about any of that. I don't care. So not that I'm a fan, but I do think like she's supposed to be somebody who has like an MMA background. They should have probably been doing more with her, and they definitely didn't. And so I do think she seems like she's more comfortable back in NXT than the main roster. But it's very possible that they could be done. It was just kind of to get this thing set up between them. With that being said, I do think we're probably gonna get one more, and maybe this is to help Carmen more so than Lola, because I feel like they've been pushing for Lola, even though I don't understand it. I think Girlie still needs to work a lot, and that twerking stuff. I'm like, girl, like Rhea is a very different situation because I would let Rhea do a lot of things. Okay, so I mean, I just feel like, in that situation, I can understand why Shayna was like, you know what, it's all right. Lola, you killing team time. Okay, it's team time, and you got to get it together. Get it together during the match. Okay, you do that after the match. But I do think that they're probably gonna have one more matchup, and if we'll see. I do think that this is a wee way. If they have Shayna lose to Lola, though, I'm gonna probably be irritated. Um, I'm a firm believer, and you got to know when to do things at certain times. And like, if you got to focus on this one thing, can we focus first, and then you have a good time? That's all I'm saying. That's like my horror movie. Like when I get mad at people, it's like this is not the time. You wait till you're safe, and then do what you got to do. I can't be doing that. And so this is one of the times you're doing match. You should not be doing that. It's like I can't even take you seriously now. I'm supposed to be taking you seriously, and you sitting here twerking and popping. Like, I mean, all right, if we're gonna do a dance break, do dance breaking on your own time, But I do think we'll probably get one more at least. And then I guess see from there if I don't think it needs to go much longer though. I feel like there's really not much else you can tell in this situation. I feel like they supposedly they're supposed to be doing stuff with regard to, okay, it was like somebody who knows some MMA background, somebody else who has, the fact, the fact that you put that there is great. But yeah, otherwise it wasn't bad. I do think though, like it shouldn't be going on much longer than this. I feel like it kind of ran its course now, if that makes sense.
I'm picking up what you're laying down. Like, you guys did say some things. I definitely agree with some things, but I will say again, free the cheeks. I don't know the lyrics. You rang. What do you want? I love making that joke since we have the same name. But yeah, so the cheeks were distracting. Okay, next week we are going to find out who will face Roxanne Perez. Who do we think that is? Like, that's another thing. Like, okay, it's gonna be someone from the main roster, correct? Because I know that Ava said she was communicating with Nick and Adam, correct? Who do we think it is? Like, who right now is free to do this? I'm trying to think. I really can't think.
That's free? Let me see. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it can't be them. They're not. The only thing I can think of, because she's not really doing anything, maybe Asuka? Maybe? She's the NXT. She was an undefeated person at NXT. If you want to put Roxanne and get somebody like that, I can see it. maybe, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really trying to think. I don't know, but I mean, I think whoever it is, they're definitely gonna produce a really, really, really fun match. So I'm really excited for that. I just want to know who it's gonna be. But with that being said, guys, we have reached the end, the 50 mark. We're done. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that, but we're done. Yeah. Oh yeah. Asuka's injured, right? I believe. How long is Asuka supposed to be out for?
I didn't realize she was injured. My bad.
I didn't even know how long she's supposed to be out for. But yeah, no, I enjoyed this. I think next week episode is gonna be very crazy. I think there's a lot going on. In all that, and then we get a performance from Sexy Red. So next week's definitely gonna be one to watch. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming, hanging with us. Kat, where can we find you? What do you got going on?
I'm on mostly all social media in Cat We Trust, everywhere the E's a 3 except for Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and everything else is E is a 3. Just keep up at my YouTube channel. I do have a new show type thing kind of happening, which would be pretty awesome. It's a little different than wrestling, not wrestling related, but the other person involved is also a wrestling fan, so it should be fun. And so look out for that. And I have a new interview coming up as well. Look out for that as well. But that's basically it. Just catch me on my YouTube or social media.
Period. We love that. We love and support it. And for me, new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast just dropped yesterday. So that's on all the platforms you can find a audio podcast on. My favorite is Spotify because I love Spotify. No matter what anyone says, especially the Apple users, leave us alone. You can also catch me on Twitch at Shay Sawyer. I am starting to get back into the streaming. Got a little sick last week, so we had to pause. Feeling a little bit better, but we will be streaming very soon. And you can find me at Shay Sawyer _ on Instagram. On Threads, you can find me at Shay Sawyer was here because I'm more on Threads now. I can't do Twitter, too toxic. Okay, you people are crazy on there, and I said it. Okay, take it how you want. You are crazy. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for sitting with us for an hour. We appreciate you so much, and we will see you next week for the Meta-Two AfterShow. Now I will do a pose like this, like Captain Morgan, until the recording stops. So, guys, have a good rest of your night. Be blessed.